Unlike most of you, I got to know Calla through her dad. I got the most wonderful, glowing description of her ever. She was creative, a genius, the hardest working student to ever grace this school. She was by all means a perfect person, in the words of proud Papa Bear Klein. That might be a slight exaggeration, something I confirmed upon finding a piece of wood in their house with the words, Callan Klein Jonas, written over and over and over, in many forms of middle school handwriting. Maybe she's not perfect. Maybe, maybe not. But Coach Klein always told me something about their family that went beyond bragging. In their family, there was one major rule. Always tell the truth. If Calla told the truth, nothing bad could happen. That rule has come to be a defining characteristic for Calla in so many ways. Calla is a straight shooter and a truth teller. I first experienced this when I asked her about not taking Spanish my first year, her 8th grade year. She was honest. She told me something along the lines of, I'm not ready for that mess yet. Prove you can do it for more than a few weeks, and I'll take Spanish next year. which she did for 2 very nice years. I finally got to see Calla as a student. I got to know her through the lens of my own eyes rather than her dad's. She listened in class, she did her work, and improved so much in Spanish in those 2 years. She was creative and fun, and I kind of understood all of the fatherly bragging. But that had to end, because Calla is honest. And when faced with a 20-person Spanish 3 class, she said, I'm out of here. Not surprisingly, she is a very successful and happy French student now, but we still miss her. So here I am, back to not teaching Calla. She's my advisor, and I'm back to hearing stories from her proud papa. In the past 4 years, I have been told how Calla was a superstar soccer player. You should see her out there. She tears up the field. She has so much talent. When I asked her about playing soccer, Calla, always honest, she said, yeah, I don't really want to play anymore. She was an ace photographer. She'd see these pictures. I've seen one picture, and it was of me as a cheerleader. How's it going, Calla? I don't even know where my camera is anymore. You should hear, she's playing the drums. Senor, I touched those drums one time. One time! Wait, she started down the path. She's the next horse whisperer. No, senor, I'm not doing that. It's too much work. You gotta clean things. Calla is never afraid to tell it like it is. Now, she seems settled on hockey, and that's just fine. How long will it last? Through all the years, Calla's constant has been her honesty. The family rule has stood strong. I look at her now, and though I do not see a soccer star, horse whisperer, Picasso, or one-time drummer, I do truly see an honest young woman who I trust completely and am proud to say I know well. She may be the first to tell you she's not perfect, but I know above all, Calla knows what matters. Please welcome Calla Jonas.
Thank you, Senor, for your introduction. For those of you who do not know me, I am Calla Klein, and welcome to my chapel talk. Woo! Change can happen in an instant. Whether we realize it or not, we are constantly changing. Our bodies change, our thoughts change, and our environments change every second of every day. Whether it's a good change or a bad change, change is unstoppable. And no matter how many times we are faced with noticeable change, big or small, it always seems to dramatically impact our current state of being. From freshman to senior year, I'd like to believe that I have changed for the better. Throughout these different phases of my life, I have grown to appreciate the importance of family, friends, and Stewart Hall. Although today I may feel 100% ready to begin the next stage of my life, I will likely wake up the next morning wishing I could stay in the comfort of Stewart Hall for a little bit longer. For the past few months, I have fallen into a trap of uncertainty. One morning, I will wake up thinking I know exactly what I want to do with my life, and the next, I won't even know what day it is. This is where I'm finding difficulty with change. Right now, I know that no matter where I end up, this time next year, I will be in a completely different place, surrounded by completely different people. Yes, I am excited, but I will also admit that I am absolutely terrified. Considering I have been attending Stewart Hall for 8 years of my life, I have grown to find nothing but comfort throughout these halls. Although Stewart Hall has prepared me for my future academically, I know that the second I am handed a high school diploma, it is up to me to be open to new discovery throughout the coming stages of my life. Around the time of my sophomore year, I became more and more interested in the art of film. As I learned more about this subject, I started to notice that the process of creating a film is a lot like life. The process of creating a film consists of 3 main stages: pre-production, the writing stage; production, the shooting of the film; and post-production, the editing of the film. As director Derek Cianfrance once said, "Writing is like dreaming, shooting is like living, and editing is like murder." Right now, I am in pre-production. I am writing my life. I am dreaming of my story, dreaming of how I wish for my life to be written. Throughout this first stage of my life, the 3 most important aspects that have fueled my dream are experience, influence, and education. For a little over 17 years, I have been experiencing life. Although I am young and naive, I would like to think that by now I have had my fair share of change. From new houses, to new family members, to new friends, and to new years, I have progressed throughout my life not knowing what to expect come the next morning. At times, these changes may have seemed unfair and confusing, but I believe they are what have shaped me into who I have become. By taking each seemingly negative change as a lesson learned, I have found ways to build my strength through an understanding of right from wrong. Ever since my parents divorced when I was young, I've always felt that I lived not only one, but 2 completely different lives at the same time. One life with my mother and one life with my father. It was during my freshman and sophomore years of high school when I endured the 2 biggest changes of my life so far. To be quick, I lost one family and I gained another. My stepdad taught me many things throughout the time I was able to spend with him that I will keep with me forever. Unfortunately, his presence from my life vanished because of a challenging battle with substance abuse during the beginning of my high school career, and my whole world dramatically changed because of it. Having to watch someone I grew very familiar with lose themselves to the evils of alcohol made me become more mature at a younger age, forcing me to become more self-aware. The biggest lessons that I learned from this experience are the power of strength and acceptance, and that there is a reason why almost every senior has it written in their chapel talk that their mother is the strongest person they have ever known. I can only hope that one day I grow to become half the woman my mother is today. She has taught me the true importance of self-discovery and independence through the way she has defeated negativity and overcome challenging obstacles. Although losing an important member of my family was difficult to accept, I am thankful that I was able to experience this type of loss because it showed me that dependence on anything or anyone other than yourself is not the key to survival. In order to survive, you must be equally aware of your weaknesses as you are your strengths. To develop yourself as an individual, you must experience all different aspects of life to find something to live for. Around the time I began to lose contact with my stepdad and his family, I felt empty and confused. After another major change occurred, I found myself constantly asking why nothing in my life could just stay the same. But change is inevitable, and the only way to overcome change is to accept it and make it work. As soon as I became open to change, I finally found something to live for. And that something is my sister. As soon as I began to cut ties with a large portion of my family on one side, My dad remarried, and I gained a sister, a stepmom, and a whole new, loving family of loud New Yorkers. From the very moment I met my sister for the first time, I knew that our lives were destined to be intertwined. Within weeks, we became inseparable, and ever since, she has been the light of my life. I was once told that the ability to accept loss is a form of insanity, and I guess this could be true if acceptance means forgetting. Over these past 4 years, I have watched my sister overcome the hardship of losing her father at a young age. Her strength is a constant reminder to always look forward and to accept the things that you simply cannot change. What I am trying to say is that the more we experience life, the more we learn to accept change. We gain knowledge through everyday occurrences, big or small, and these experiences are what grow to shape us as individuals. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. We must be flawed in order to teach ourselves right from wrong. So, make mistakes, experience life, and use these lessons to better yourself. A way I have bettered myself is through art. Throughout my time spent in high school, art has become my outlet. Dealing with positive and negative change, I have always found myself using art as an expressive break from reality. Art has influenced my life, and my life has influenced my art. Growing up, I have always taken the artsy road. To me, self-expression through art is one of the most profound ways of communication. My whole life, I have been captivated by art. It began when I was young through simple, hands-on art projects, and as I entered high school, I noticed my focus began to shift to the art of filmmaking and video production, to the art of photography and writing. To me, this was the artist in me maturing and becoming more of an individual. All of these forms of art I just mentioned can be categorized as the art of storytelling. Film and movies are visual stories. Writing, like different forms of literature, such as books, magazines, and informative articles, all tell stories, no matter the topic and no matter the length. Movies and books are obviously the most well-known forms of storytelling, but to me, photography speaks the loudest of them all. Through one still image, a photographer can capture a moment that is too special for words. Photography does not speak, nor does it read, but it has the ability to teach beyond a pen and paper through observation and imagination. Aspiring towards an artistic career, over this past summer, I toured Savannah College of Art and Design, a small private art institution located in the heart of Savannah, Georgia. For years, I believed that I was destined to attend SCAD. If art plays such an important role in my life, then why would I not pursue it as a career? At this point in time, I really thought I had my life all planned out. To me, it seemed perfectly logical to run off to art school and become a famous photographer or filmmaker. Why not? The harsh reality of my plan finally struck me once I was able to tour the school. Although it was a beautiful campus, I could not help but question the sanity of anyone who is comfortable with paying the tuition of a private school solely to be taught something that primarily requires natural talent. This statement may seem a bit ignorant on my part, but nothing about that decision seemed realistic to me once I was able to experience the school firsthand. Although art has had a major impact on my life, as of right now, it is not what I want to aspire towards as a profession. For now, my love of storytelling will remain a large part of my life and will continue to influence the way I perceive the world around me, but it will not become my career. Throughout my entire life, I have maintained a pretty tight group of friends. It began in karate class with Sam and Addison, and advanced to a few Skate Town birthday parties with Addison and Hannah, which then led me to Dixon Elementary School with Hannah and Sydney, and finally to Stewart Hall with Sam, Addison, Hannah, and Sydney. Although almost all of us came to Stewart Hall at different times, we somehow all ended up at the same place, in the same classes, all while disrupting the world around us. Throughout my 8 years at Stewart Hall, friends have come and gone. Having the privilege to say that I have friends from all around the world is truly one of the biggest blessings anyone could ever receive. I have learned a lot from attending Stewart Hall, and if I listed all of the things I love most about this place, my chapel talk would surely exceed the 30-minute time period. Out of all the things I love most about Stewart Hall, the diversity is my number one. Not many people can say that they have friends from all over the world, but we can. I know it sounds cliche, but in all honesty, I would not have survived these 8 long years if it wasn't for the people that I not only consider my friends, but my family. To me, family is everything. My friends, my parents, my sister, grandparents, cousins, aunts, and uncles, they are everything to me. Having divorced and remarried parents, I would always joke about the pains of having to go to too many Thanksgiving and Christmas parties every year. These 2 seemingly relaxing holidays always end up being a roller coaster of whose house we need to visit next, or who needs to have Thanksgiving on a Wednesday rather than a Thursday. Right now, I have 2 sets of people I look to as my parents. I have a sister, multiple sets of grandparents, and a swimming pool full of cousins, aunts, and uncles. Present or absent, I believe that our parents have the biggest impact on our lives. As children, our parents teach us not only how to speak for the first time, but also how to feel different emotions for the first time, which are 2 things that we will continue to obtain for the rest of our lives. Although I may not always agree with my parents, I have come to learn that parents really do know everything. And without their guidance and influence, I have nothing. My mother is the most driven and independent human being I have ever known. She has taught me that this is my life, and in my life, I call the shots, I make the decisions, and I live. My father, on the other hand, is the most brilliant man I have ever met in my life. He is nothing short of a perfectionist. And although doing things his way may take 10 times longer than they would if anyone else was involved, everything he sets his mind to turns out flawless. Whether I'm up until 2 in the morning finishing a school project the day before it's due, playing a soccer game hours away in the pouring rain, or sitting at the kitchen table for hours upon hours crying all night, my dad is always there. My parents, together, have taught me how to live. They have taught me to be the best person that I can be, and I will forever be grateful for their presence. I have met many people throughout my life that use their parents' divorce as an excuse or to have something to blame. I know that I am one of the lucky ones because I have lived with both of my parents for my whole life. It is interesting, however, to think of how different my life could be, and although I struggled a bit as a child, I know now that I would not change a thing. Family is the most beautiful gift life has given me thus far, and although holidays may be more exhausting than not, I would not trade this life for the world. As of right now, I believe that I will enter the production stage of my life once I finish my educational journey to begin a career, whatever it may be. Whichever school I end up attending after Stewart Hall, my hope is to finalize my life script so that I can then start living. Although I am currently, by definition, living, like I mentioned earlier, in the pre-production stage of my life, which I am currently in, I am dreaming of the life I want to eventually live. I have come to realize that I should stray from any future career involving math or chemistry, but possibly something creative and expressive. I do know that what I decide to pursue in college, the script I write for my life, will probably change. Many people say a script is merely a set of guidelines. If you watch your favorite movie very closely and you read the script online, you will come to realize that almost every scene is, in fact, very different from how they were originally written to be. Of course, movies are a little different than real life, but the process in which they are created can be applied to the way we live the stages of our lives. After college, I have no specific goal other than to be successful. But to many people, the word success can be defined in 1,000 different ways. And because of this, I will not know what my definition of success is until I achieve it. Thankfully, throughout my life, I have been fortunate enough to see what success does and does not look like. My parents have taught me that success can be achieved through patience and happiness. Now, on to the post-production stage of life, or the murderous stage, as director Derek Cianfrance claims it to be. Although this concept may seem confusing and irrelevant when applied to the stages of our life, to further justify his claim, Cianfrance goes on to explain his reasoning of this statement in that you take all of these gifts that actors give you, and you cut them. I've had to cut my mom out of a movie before. It's ruthless editing, but it's also necessary. Because once you start taking away, it's like sculpture. You can really start feeling the shape of the whole. Although it is labeled as murderous, in this stage of life, the post-production stage, whenever it may occur, will be the stage we begin to realize what is truly important in life. Although this stage is listed at the end of the cycle, I believe that it can happen at any time. Once we cut out all of the negativities and what in our lives seems unfit and unnecessary, is when we will truly begin to shape our life's story into something worth telling. Whether you must edit aspects of your life pertaining to friends, your work environment, your living situation, or anything that invites unnecessary negativity into your life, these changes are necessary. Change is necessary. In order to edit your life, you can either get rid of the problem or find a way to accept it and make it work. Make as many mistakes as you can. Mistakes are reminders of what shouldn't be repeated, and if we don't mess up ever so often while we're young, we will not truly know right from wrong once we grow older and have larger responsibilities. I know I'm only 17, and I have a lot more of life left to experience, but all of these things that I've been talking about for the past 20 minutes are what life has taught me. I have learned to be thankful for the little things, to be thankful for hardship, to be thankful for positive and negative influences, to be thankful for not studying enough and failing that test, to be thankful for family and friends, to be thankful for finding the beauty in simplicity, and to be thankful for the life that I live, no matter what happens tomorrow. Life throws curveballs, and life is unfair, but that is the beauty of it. If you're not happy with what you've got, find a way to make it better. Do it yourself and do it for yourself. Don't be dependent on anyone else, but love those around you. Celebrate friends, celebrate family, celebrate intelligence, celebrate happiness, celebrate love, celebrate Stuart Hall, and most of all, celebrate life. I would like to end my chapel talk with a quote from rapper Killer Mike from a video he made titled Killer Mike's Life Advice. Don't have ambitions that are too high. Just be the best that you can be. And the best you can be is probably about average. So learn to celebrate average more and be nice to those around you. Thank you everyone for listening to my chapel talk, and after the slideshow, the upper school may be dismissed.
Give